So very good morning to you, all of you. First of all, I am very much thankful to you for your response to our webinar. I have received so many queries, so many questions from the participants. And today we are with our fourth webinar on the series of webinar on protection of the children. So first webinar we did on the boys locker room incident. What was the role of the parties? What are the offences which are made out? And then second webinar we did on the offences relating to the child pornography, particularly the cyberbullying, cyber stalking, and the miscellaneous offences. In the third webinar we moved to the advanced offences like possession, sharing, transmission, and use of the child in the pornography. And now in this particular video, we are going to cover the topic regarding the liabilities of the participant, liabilities of the persons, stakeholders like parent, teacher, liabilities of the companies, liabilities of the school, liabilities of the hotel, liabilities of the media. Because the very beautiful part here in this particular POCSO Act is with the dominion a person has on a child and his movement, the liability is accordingly enhanced. So let me share my PPT with you. And so in this session, we are going to discuss about the liabilities of the parent of the child, member of the society, of the police. But if the police do not act, if the police do not take action on this, role of the media, and interesting part of it is that the role of media is very high as compared to the other stakeholder. For example, even if a pressman or even if a media personnel go to any sport and he comes to know about anything relating to child pornography, it is an obligation on a media personnel to inform the police. So that's a very beautiful section which have been inserted into this act. Then coming to the what is the liability of the companies, and here the liabilities of the companies does not rest only on the liability of the company itself or its director, but it also includes the company liability of the companies regarding their subordinate. If subordinate commit any offense, then even the company is liable if they do not report or if they do not take any action on it. Then in the last we will come to the liability of the intermediaries. For example, if we take the case of the boys locker room, what would be the liability of the inspector? So we are going to discuss the liabilities of all the stakeholders in this session. So this particular initiative have been taken by us after the incident of the boys locker room, and a research is being carried out by the Cyber Research and Innovation Society, which have been built up to create a digitally secured future for the society, for its residents, for the student, participant. And here our mission is to educate the people about the cyber security awareness. And in this particular series, we are going to educate and aware about the offences related to the children, so that all the stakeholders, whether a teacher, whether a parent, whether a school authority, they might know what is their obligation, what action they need to take, and at what stage. For example, in one of the case, where the incident happened in a school, the school authorities were making the inquiries. By the time the complaint was filed, court took the cognizance against the school, and the principal of the school was made as an accused. So here for a school, it is very important to understand that they do not have any option to make any inquiry. They do not have any option to go for the compromise or to explore the thing. Only and only single option without any delays to make a complaint. Not only school, but all the companies, media houses, hotel, etc. So that we are going to discuss here in detail. So this is our fourth webinar in series. The next webinar we are going to end tomorrow, and that would be particularly on the how to punish the offender. So if you come across any case, any incident relating to child pornography, what step you are required to be taken, what are your rights, what are the rights of the children, so how you need to proceed with the prosecution, These are issues we are going to discuss step by step in the webinar tomorrow at 12 p.m. And as far as the previous webinars are concerned, you can access all these webinars on our YouTube channel, Cyber Fund. All the webinars are available there. And in the last, I will share my email ID. If you still have any other question, you still think there is any issue which have been left out, which should have been taken into this series, we will create another webinar to cover the all these issues. So, in the previous webinar, we have discussed all these issues relating to the bias locker room, child pornography, extortion, child grooming, cyber stalking, image morphing, sexual harassment, cyber bullying, identity theft. So, as far as possible, we have tried to cover all the issues relating to child pornography from 360-degree angles. But still, anything is left, we will certainly, it would be our pleasure to take this. So now in this session, we are going to discuss about the liability of the person. So first thing which you must know, and I want to specify, that liabilities are divided into four components, four limbs. So first would be liability to report the commission of offense. If there is any offense which has happened relating to the child pornography, it is a liability of a person to report the offense to the police. Second, if the person is of the view that there is only an apprehension, still he has a liability to inform to the police. Third is the liability of personal. So kindly distinguish between the two. In first case, it is the liability regarding the of any person. Any person means it may be of any company, it may be of any partnership firm, it may be school, any organization or individual. It may be of any person. In the second case, the legislature in its wisdom has put the liability on certain person. It is an individual liability. And liability would be of the personnel who belong to the media, who belong to the studio, who belong to the photographic facility, who belong to the hotel or lodge. So that we will discuss in detail. And in the last, liability of the person in charge of the company or institution. For the non-reporting, also for the offense done by the subordinate in the company. So these are the four particular segments where the liability would arise. So we will discuss all these liabilities one by one. Before coming to the liability, let us discuss what are the relevant sections. So there are basically three sections which deals with the liability of the stakeholder as far as the child pornography is concerned. First, we have a section 19. Now, section 19 says any person. So, any person means person, company, partnership, whoever it may be, who has the knowledge that a crime has been committed or has apprehension that a crime is likely to be committed. So, in both the cases, now the question is where they have to report. They have to report to the special juvenile unit. Second, local police. So special juvenile unit have been created under the POCSO Act itself. So if you do not know where the special juvenile unit is, you can simply inform to the local police. So your person would include your company, association of persons, or an individual person. Then we have the section 20. Section 20 again lay down the liability, but the difference is here the liability is of the personal, individual person who is an employee of media, that means press, who is the employee of the hotel, who is the employee of the lodge, hospital, club, studio, or photographic facilities. So these 7 organizations are specifically mentioned in section 20. So by whatever name they are called, when the liability would arise, when they come across any material object which is sexually explicit of the child through any medium. It may be through the physical medium, it may be through the online medium. And here, see, liability is not only with respect to only their entity or function of their company. Liability is whenever they come to know about these things. For example, if a media personnel has gone in a particular area or a particular place of incident for his employment or for the purpose of executing his duty, and at that place he come to know about anything, any object. It may be a video, it may be an image, it may be anything which is sexually exploitive of the child, then he is liable to report. And here one of the very interesting thing which I would like to add is his duty would not complete by simply reporting to his own media house or by giving any news into the media. He has to give a information to the police. So that means all the cases which are being reported in the media where they are giving some news relating to child pornography, until they will give the complaint to the police or special juvenile unit. So complaint is not necessary. In fact, until they give the information to the special juvenile unit or to the police, their duty does not end. And in failure of reporting to these two units, they can be prosecuted under section 21 of the POCSO Act. Now let us come what is section 21. So section 21 says that any person who fails to report as per section 19 or as per section 20, he is liable for punishment up to 6 months in jail. Here the exception is only for a child, for no other person. So that means every person, whoever is adult, whoever is a company, entity, personnel of media house, hotel, whatever we have discussed in section 19 and 20, they are liable to report to the police. Second part, which is another very important part, that is that if some such offense has been committed by your subordinate who is under your control, again you are bound to inform to the police. So basically, in both the cases, even if you come to know from the child or from any other source which is under your control, that is the one part. Or secondly, if any offense is committed by your subordinate, in both the cases there is an obligation, there is a duty to inform the police, failure of which is punishable with an imprisonment of 6 months. Now we are coming to the liability of the individual person. What would be the liability of the parent, teacher, principal of school, any other member of the society, police? Police is also liable. Person in charge of the companies and the intermediaries. So first coming to the liability of the school. The moment offense comes to the knowledge of the school, if the offense has happened in the school or not, that is also not relevant. Even the offense has happened anywhere with a child, but child has reported it to the school. So here it is also not necessary where the offense has happened. The thing is whether any offense has come to the knowledge of the school from their students, from their subordinate, from their employees, whatever may be, and by whatever name they are being called upon. If the offense is committed or likely to be committed in both the cases, then the person in charge of the institution. So if it is a school, the person who is in charge. So one in charge is the principal, second in charge is the management. So they are liable to inform to the police. And the two factors which are very important need to be bear in mind by school or any company or any organization. Number one, there is no scope for inquiry. The moment you come to know, you need to inform to the police. You cannot waste the time in just verifying the fact whether it has happened or not. Because if meanwhile somebody else make a complaint to the police, you will become as an accused. Second, you cannot go into resolving the matter or getting compromising the things between the parties. It happened in one of the case. Court sent the principal to the jail and instructed that the principal will face the entire trial along with the accused. We'll come to that judgment. Second is the liability of the media. So liability of the media is more than school. And rather I would say these are the six organizations apart from the media, hotel, etc. They have a liability which is more than the school or a person. Because when we talk about the liability of the media, it has two limbs. Number one, liability of the media as a person, as a company. So that would be similar to school. If anything comes within their organization, any of their employee, or they come to know about from any of their component of that particular company. So that is the first part. Second liability has been made regarding the employee of the media personnel, and that is a individual liability. That is not concerned with the media liability. So that means if an employee or a press reporter goes on the spot, he comes to know anything about the child pornography, any material object, any picture, image, or video, or anything. It is his duty to report to the police. For example, he is not reported to the police, he has reported to the media, right? But his duty does not end there. And in the law, liability is only of the media employee, media personnel. So that means media personnel would be liable by virtue of section 20 and media would be liable by virtue of section 19. So both would be liable for the offense. Second thing which I would like to add here is that I have discussed in the beginning also, if the personnel has given that news into his newspaper, into his channel, into his website, that does not end his duty. Because in fact that will secure his conviction, because that will ensure two things. Number one, that the media personnel has the knowledge of pornography. Second, the media personnel did not report to the police. Rather, he would become criminally liable for a punishment up to the for a punishment of 6 months under section 21 of the POCSO. So here the liability of the media personnel is more as compared to any other person. Now we come to the liability of the company. So liability of the company would be under section 19 of the Act, within the definition of any person. But if the company is one of the company who is media house, who is hotel, lodge, hospital, club, studio, or photographic facility, then the company would also be liable under section 20. For example, as we discussed in the previous example, that the press reporter went on the spot, he come to know about any child pornographic facilities, but he did not tell to the he told to his company, but he did not report it to the police. But the moment company acquired the knowledge, so company would have the liability under section 19, employee would be liable under section 20, and in addition to that, under section 21 too, the company would be liable because in case some offense have been committed by the subordinate of the company. So liability of the company would be on three accounts. In case of if the company is media, hotel, hospital, club, etc., then it would be three cases. If it is not in one of the 7 categories mentioned in section 20, the liability of the company would be under two heads. So first would be as a person, second would be regarding the offense committed by their employee. So now coming to who is liable in case of company, that is very important. So we have a section 85 of the Information Technology Act, which says every person who is responsible for the conduct of the business of the company at the time of the offense as well as company, both would be liable. So what does it mean? It means company will be made as an accused. So I am saying in case where the offense has been committed within the company. So company is if the company's offense is committed by the company, then company would be an accused, and every person who is in charge of the affair of the conduct of the company, then he would be liable. For example, every director who is a executive director would become liable. So it means not only simple managing director, but every other director who is performing the executive function would be liable. Now coming to the liability of the employee. if the offence have been committed with the, a very important part is with the negligence, connivance, consent, or neglect of the any employee or director, they would also be liable. So very important part is here the liability is not as per CP, IPC for it. It does not depend on the menship. It is a static liability. So again, it would be seen. Number one, the person who is in charge of the affair of the company. If there are 5 persons who are in charge of the affair of the company, all 5 persons would become liable. As far as the management is concerned. As far as the employees are concerned, individual role would be looked upon depending upon whether the individual has any neglect or connivance or consent into the said offense. So here, if you will see, the liability in case of the employee is very wide. So in one particular case, more than one person can become an accused. So similarly, if you take the case of the school, so not only the principal, but the other person who are part of the management, who are into the executive function, they would also become by virtue of section 85 of the IPA. Though POCSO is silent on it. POCSO says company would be liable. So in such case, we will see who are the executive persons. But in case of section 85 IT Act, it expands the scope of liability. It gives a static liability. So it says that every person who is responsible for the in charge of affair. So it means such person may be director, such person may be principal, such person may be vice principal. So if you take the example of school, vice principal and principal both would be part of the person in charge of the affairs. So here liability in case of school, liability in case of companies, trust or other such entities would be much wider as compared to an individual person. So this is now we are discussing few cases where even the court has prosecuted the principal, court has prosecuted the school authorities for non-reporting the offence. So this is the first case where an offence of child pornography was committed by the teacher. School did not inform, police did not take any action. The court took the cognizance and director of the school was arrested. So I am telling you here, not the principal but director was arrested by the later on and prosecuted under section 21 of the IPC. There is another judgment of this Mumbai High Court, Bala Sahib versus State of Maharashtra 2017. In this case, when the complaint was received by the principal regarding the sexual assault on a child, so instead of giving a complaint to the police or informing them, he tried to compromise the matter. So court held that there is no provision for inquiry, there is no provision for compromise, and court made that principal as an accused and directed that this principal would be tried along with the accused for the entire trial. So that means until the trial of the substantive offence will go, the trial of the principal will continue. So if you look from that angle, the punishment for the school is much more higher as compared to the actual offender. It's another case. Here also, the offence was of the child pornography, that was of the rape. So basically, the rape was of a girl child, and it was an offence under the POCSO, but the incident was not reported by the school. So the headmaster of the school was charged under section 21 of the POCSO. Again, there was another judgment of Kerala High Court, Sri Lata versus State of Kerala, where there was a similar situation, and the principal was charged and was facing the prosecution. So the court has held that because the act of the principal is secondary act. So first, when the first trial would complete, then his case would be decided. So that means if the accused has to face the trial for X number of years, the principal has to face for X plus T. Liability of the person in charge of the institution. So here also we have the another case where the offense was relating to the child and it was committed by the priest of the church. Parent asked Archbishop to take the action, but he did not take the action. When matter was complained to the police, when it was forwarded to the POCSO court, the POCSO court held Archbishop to be liable under Section 21 of liability of the company. So we have a very famous judgment arising from the Baji case. It was way back in 2003. Then this case was reported in Delhi, where this website Baji.com was selling one of the pornographic clip on their website. Director of that particular company was arrested, charge sheeted. But the only lapse which was made by the police in the said case was that police charge sheeted the Avinash Bajaj, who was the director of the company Baji, but police have not charged the company Baji. So when matter went to the first, it went to the High Court, then Supreme Court, then to the larger bench of Supreme Court. And in larger bench, the issue before the court was: can the director be prosecuted if the company is not made as an accused? So the court has held that no, director cannot be prosecuted until the company is made as an accused. So in such cases, the company has to be made as an accused. Liability of the police. Under Section 21, it is clearly mentioned that when a complaint is being filed to the police will report the complaint, register the complaint, and investigation has to be done. So here are two cases. In one case in Malappuram, where the complaint was filed, but no action was taken by the police. So subsequently, the court took the cognizance and special team was made by the Inspector General of Police to investigate, and the action was taken against the police official who did not close the effort. Second case we have of the Mumbai, where the offence was against a 13-year-old girl, and this was a offence of rape, but it was registered under the POCSO Act because it was regarding a minor girl. What the court did, instead of restricting the case, they induced the parties to marry and settle. And when the girl moved to the Bombay High Court had took the cognizance, booked the police officials for not registering the FIR and abetting the child marriage, and initiate the proceeding under Section 166A IPC and Section 21 of the POCSO. So what is the procedure to be adopted by the police on reporting? It must be ascribed an entry number. So basically it must be reported into daily diary. The statement has to be reported, FIR has to be registered. If the child himself is making a complaint, then it is to be reported into a simple language. If required, the translator is required to be there. Immediate arrangements are required to be made for protection of the child and for giving the medical care to the child. Now coming to the procedure for media. So one liability we have discussed regarding the media personnel. Media is a company. Now there is a third liability of the media, and that liability is that if there is any such incident, the media shall not report or comment on child without complete or authentic information about any material which may lower child reputation, infringe upon his privacy. So there are restrictions on the reporting as well. And apart from that, media cannot disclose identity of the child, his name, his address, his photograph, his family detail, name of his school, neighborhood of his school, and in case of violation, it is an offence with imprisonment of not less than 6 months, but up to 1 year. So minimum punishment have been prescribed. Now coming to the liability of the intermediaries. See, intermediaries are always liable as an abettor. So first thing we need to understand that there is no exemption to the intermediary. So even if it is a Facebook, it is a Twitter, it is a Gmail, whatever it may be, they all are liable as an abettor. Exemption is granted only subject to certain conditions. And in case of child pornography, the first condition is they must file a complaint with the police. Why they have to file a complaint with the police? Because they are also a company under section 21 of the POCSO Act. So the moment they came to know, it is their duty to inform to the police. They must block the content. They must preserve the evidence. And they must support the case in the court. So liability of the intermediary. So two are the main. There are main two conditions. Condition number one: they must remove the illegal content when it is being informed by the government, as per the intermediary guidelines 2011, or as per the blocking rules, or as per order of the court, or on intimation of any agency of the government. Whenever they will inform, they have to block the content, they have to remove the content. Now what happens if they do not block or remove? They would become accused themselves. What if the police does not make them accused? Not an issue. If you are a complainant, you are a victim, the moment matter comes to the POCSO court, file an application at initial stage. If Facebook have not removed the content when it is being told, court will make the Facebook as an accused. So please, whenever you feel that the investigation agency is not taking the action, you can always move to the POCSO court, because here the POCSO court have been given with the ample powers. You have the ample powers there to get the action directly done from the court. So do not bother if the police does not take action, because under this act, if the police does not take the action, police officer is also subject to the prosecution and liable to go to the jail. So liability of the intermediary would be under section 21 also, if they do not report. And if directed by the court, central government, or authorized agency of the government, they do not remove the material, and also if they do not provide the evidence. So we have seen in number of cases where the Facebook have not provided the evidence, even in cases of section 67 or cases of obscene message, etc. If the Facebook have not provided the evidence, you have a right to prosecute the Facebook. So please, at the stage when the trial has started, move an application before the court, even before framing of charge, that the Facebook is an abettor, he must be prosecuted. Facebook is not entitled to exemption because they have not provided the information. So there you have ample power against the Facebook, against the Twitter, against the other intermediaries. So it does not matter if the police does not take an action. It does not result into closure of your rights. You have all the right to go to the directly go to the trial court and proceed against them. So if you have any question, you are most welcome. We are now taking the question by through chat, which would be one-to-one, and your questions are welcome. Please raise your hand. We will unmute you. Sorry. So first question is, what happens when an individual complains to remove obscene content? So I have told you, you have a right to get the content removed and blocked. And what is the difference between two is, removal would be possible in the cases where the companies are located in India, because foreign companies are not subject to the jurisdiction of the court. Blocking would be in the cases where the content is hosted on the foreign companies. So you have a number of options. Number one, you should write to the company itself where the data is being hosted, because if it is a child pornographic data, you need to simply intimate them if this is a data relating to the child pornography, please remove it, because otherwise you would become an accused. So most probably, most of the companies have their own privacy policy, and they remove the content as as per their own privacy policy itself. Second, if they do not remove, go to the police, tell the police to direct the service provider. So police can write to the Ministry of IT. Ministry of IT can direct for the blocking of content. That is your second tool. Again, if the police write and Facebook or these companies does not remove the content, you have the two options which you must exercise at the same time. The first option, you go to the trial court. Trial court has an inherent power to direct for blocking or removal of the content. That is the first part. Secondly, you should also tell the court as well as the police to make the company who have not removed the content to make such company as an accused. So any other question we have? Next slide. So the second question is from Bhupender Singh.
Sorry, I have.
The intermediary is required to remove only on court order or order of the government agency as held in the Shreya Singhal or on reporting of the offence. The intermediary is required to remove on two grounds as mentioned as held in the judgment of Shreya Singhal, that one court order or second is on the direction of the agency of the government. But in case of child pornography, you have a third option also, because child pornography, the possession itself is an offense. So the moment you tell to the company that this is a pornography content which is into your possession and this is a child pornography content, the obligation becomes on the company itself, because possession itself is an offense. In case of child pornography, which is not the situation in adult pornography or the other cases. So here you have the additional right as well. So thank you very much. In case you have any other question, please write to us on the email provided into the last slide. We will take your question tomorrow. So there we have a third question from Neha Jain. If the intermediary have the safe harbor option, I am sorry, I have discussed the safe harbor option already number of times. Safe harbor option is very simple. The option is the moment you are being informed and it comes to your knowledge that something is illegal, which is posted, you have to remove it. That is the only safe harbor option. Here, it is subject to one rider that have been set up by the Supreme Court in the judgment of Shreya Singhal, and the rider is that such information should be provided by the court or by the agency of government. So that we have discussed. But in child pornography, there is a third rider that because child pornography possession itself is illegal, then there would be an under obligation to remove it. And here I would like to add another thing which could come to your rescue. That child pornography is an offense in most of the countries. For example, if some material is there on the Facebook, even if you file a complaint in the US, even there the US agency would also move into an action. So that is the additional power, opportunity or option you are having. So as far as the child pornography is concerned, I don't think any agency or any IFP would not act. The only thing which may be, because in some cases the obscenity may be a hairline in a particular image or video. For example, you are saying that it contains a child pornography, and Facebook say that we are not able to see pornographic material. So that would be the only one case where there may be an issue. But in any other case, there would not be any issue. And the another thing which I would like to add here is that transmission of the content, which we have discussed in the last two sessions, itself is an illegal. So every website which is transmitting, which is publishing the child pornographic data is committing an offense, and for which no complainant is required. Suo motu action can be taken by the police and by any citizen of the country. For example, you go to the internet, you see that there is a website which contains child pornographic data, you file the complaint. Police is bound to register the offense. So that is the law. And one of the biggest gap why child pornography is multiplying or increasing exponentially or corrupting the mind of our children is that government is not taking the due step which they are required to take to block all these data, which we have discussed in our last session. So thank you very much. Your comment, suggestion, question are welcome. Still you think there is any issue which we need to add, please write to us. We will have another session. We will cover all the pending issues. So thank you very much.